everybody to Direct Sales with Rich Norton. I am excited about this new program because those of you that know me know that I have a passion and a lot of enthusiasm to teach people how to be successful in sales. Now, maybe you haven't met me yet or you don't know much about me, so I'm going to give you a little background about myself so you know that this isn't just one guy that says, I'm going to teach you all about sales, I'm going to tell you how to be successful in selling, but has never done it. This is me. This is my background. When I was 18 years old, I answered an ad in the paper, and this is 1 year out of college, and I was studying marketing, management, and sales. And my favorite class was sales. All the other stuff, I was, I'm going to kind of get through it, but I got an A in sales, and that was like, this is where I want to be. This is my passion. I knew I was going to get involved in sales. So I'm looking through ads in the newspaper. Believe it, that's what we used to do back then. Looking at ads in the newspaper, and there was an ad that stood out, and it said, have fun, make money, you can earn $510 a week and more. Now this is years ago, so that was good money for an 18-year-old. Even it's pretty good money today. So here I am, I answered the ad, and I go in for an interview, and I sit down in New London, Connecticut with about 15, 20 people in a classroom, and I get introduced to a company called P.F. Collier Incorporated. And the gentleman that was doing the interview recently passed away, Bill Cosgrove, and I love the man. He was a great mentor. We'll talk about him down the road. But he was doing the interview, and I watched him, and I watched other people in the classroom, and he was showing these big posters about what we're going to be selling. He presented it, and I found out that I was going to be selling encyclopedias door to door. Didn't know much about it. Actually didn't even know that it was door to door, but I learned about the commissions that I was going to make for every sale that I made. And I went home, and I didn't know if I got the job, but I got a letter in the mail. This is how they did it, and I still have this letter today. This is like 42 years ago. That's how long ago it was. I still have the letter today that said, you are hereby hired by P.F. Collier Incorporated, and at the bottom it said, enthusiastically, Bill Cosgrove. And I remember that. Like I said, I still got that letter. And I was pumped up. I was excited. And I remember telling family about it. I remember telling friends about it. And the response that I got was nowhere near the excitement that I had. In fact, in many cases, it was the opposite. Most people, including my family, was like, you sure? How are you going to get paid? And honestly, I didn't know. There people were asking questions like, is it commission? You have to have a job with security. You're not going to make any money at that. Is it door to door? How do you get your leads? I had all those questions. And I'm like, I don't fully know, but I'm going to do it. Now, here's the amazing thing. My attitude was, I'm going to do it. I wasn't going to give it the old college try. I mean, I was in college back then. I wasn't going to just give it a shot. I'm going to do it. I'm going to go out and make it happen. So I went in for training. My friend got hired, and he didn't make it, but he lasted about 1 day in the field. So we go through this classroom. I think there's 7 or 8, 10 people that got hired. We're in this training. The next day it got down to 5. The next day it got down to 3. And then we're supposed to watch someone in the field. I watched somebody. He wasn't that good. I don't even think he even showed me anything. And then they dumped me out in the field the next day. And here's me. I got I think I was wearing a shirt and tie, and I got them all dressed up. I had a briefcase, and I was the encyclopedia door-to-door salesman. And I went out there, I started knocking on doors. I see my other friend, we split the area, and he's walking around, he goes, this job sucks, I hate this job, I'm quitting today. And I'm thinking, wow, that didn't even cross my mind at all. And I just, oh, whatever. So I'm still knocking on doors, and I wrote one. It wasn't really a good one, but I did write that first one. And then I got into this late one, and I was in the house, and I still remember this couple today. It was in a 3rd-story building, and I'm in there. I wrote the couple up. They were the nicest couple in the world. They gave me gifts and everything, and I lost track of time. It was like 10:30 at night. We're supposed to be picked up like at 9:30 at the time. Now the field manager, this is how they did this. They dropped you off in the neighborhood. See you at 7-Eleven at the end of the night. That's where you're going to be working. This is your area where you're going to be working. And he finally sees me walking down the street, and I was complaining about the area. I'm like, man, this area was all full of old people. And I remember saying, this is all Grandpa and Grandmasville. That's what I called it. He goes, never mind that. Where you been? And he goes, how'd you do? I said, I got 2. I figured I'd do better. He goes, you got 2? So he's all excited. And that first week, I actually wrote 7 sales, 7 sets of encyclopedias with the children's books and the bookcase and everything. And I wrote 7. And that first week, back in 1980, 18 years old, that tells you my age, 18 years old, made $756 my first week, which today would probably be about $3 grand, if you really think about it. So I did that job. I did that for the full summer, made very good money, loved it, traveled throughout the whole country. I remember going to Ohio. I remember getting thrown in jail for selling encyclopedias door to door without a permit. So it was certainly an adventurous job, but I made a lot of money, and I finished as one of the top students, one of the top college students, and I won a trip to Portugal on the beach, all expenses paid. And I remember going there. I turned 19 years old. I got to meet some of my other mentors, Peter Perry, the late great. He passed on, went to be with the Lord as well. Many of my friends who I still have great friendships today, David Perry, some of the other representatives. And I was there for a full week. That was my first trip. And I was planning on going back to college. And I'm thinking, you know what? I'm in sales. I might as well stay here. I'm loving what I'm doing, so they promoted me to field manager, and I started training, supervising people, doing the same thing. Dropping people off in neighborhoods, picking them up late at night, and I started making very, very good money. And throughout the years, every year I was winning a trip. In 1981, I won a trip to Hawaii. The following year, a trip to Spain, a trip to Rome. And making excellent money, living a great lifestyle, traveling all throughout the country, winning trips all throughout the world. It was a fantastic program, best training program in the entire world. When I think about all those times I did that, it just puts a big smile upon my face. I actually did that for almost 20 years. The 80s were the best. 1987, I was awarded Man of the Year with P.F. Collier Incorporated, and at the age of 27, I won a $12,000 Rolex watch. The next year, I was awarded President's Choice, won this beautiful ring, and again, winning trips, winning trips. As time went on, throughout the 90s, I was doing well, but you saw the writing on the wall with technology coming in. And everything else that was going on. CD-ROMs were coming out, and people were like, why do we buy encyclopedias? We can get it on the computer right now. Of course, we were excellent salespeople. We knew how to overcome that objection, and I still was able to sell. But then there was some other things we were dealing with, is customers being turned down for bad credit, cancellations, neighbors, friends talking them out of it. So I hung on with that business till 1998, 1999, hanging on, still making pretty good money, but nowhere near what I needed to make. Fortunately, I was introduced to somebody by the name of Timmy Perry, who also went on to be with the Lord recently. These are all great mentors, all in heaven, looking down, smiling upon me, I know. And he actually called me up, and he introduced me to, the way he explained it, he goes, how would you like to sell something where you get paid on it 99 to 100% of the time? Everything you write, you get paid on it. At that time, I was averaging about 35–40% getting paid on it. I'm like, that would be awesome. What are we selling? I'm signed in. I'm all in. And that's what he did. He introduced me. He came down. And in our next video, I'm going to tell you what the next level of that was. This time goes by fast, but that's how I began. Just so you know, this isn't some guy just talking about sales, did it for a year, sitting behind a desk, and you'll find out I'm still doing this today at a high level, not because I need to, it's because I love to and I want to. And we'll share a lot more. I'm really excited about this series. My goal is to help you, but I wanted you to know my background so you know my heart. I'm going to see you in the next video. Thanks for tuning in. Hey, it's Rich Norton with the super crew of Payrock. Thank you for tuning in to my show. I hope all the things that we're teaching you are very, very helpful. Whatever field of selling that you're in, go out and make it happen. I've had many, many people reach out to me as we've been filming these shows and also through all the other videos and all the different events that we've been doing, inquiring about what we do. And they're saying, man, you've got a lot of successful people all around the country. You're talking about residual income, you're talking about traveling, you're talking about having an abundant life and making it happen. I want to do that type of direct sales. Do you have opportunities with your company? The answer to that question is yes, we do. We certainly do. Our division is called the Super Crew of Payrock. We're the fastest growing processor in the whole country. Our group is the #1 group of Payrock, and I have a passion, as you have seen, to motivate, train, and help people to reach their full potential. We have representatives all around the country that are earning crazy amounts of income, residual income. This business is as big as you want it to be. Somebody told me years ago, if you want to build wealth, get into a business where you're earning residual income. So if you're that type of person and you want to find out more, we have opportunities available. To see if you qualify, reach out to me. You can call me on my phone number. My phone number is 904-434-4635. You can email me at payrockrichnnorton@gmail.com. You'll see it right on the screen here, and perhaps you could qualify for this wonderful opportunity.